right. Welcome back, guys. Hello out there in Instagram land. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. My name is Troy Hoffman, and I'm the founder of Fractional Founders and several other companies over the last decades. And again, we're going live. We're sharing with you the tools, the techniques, the tactics to help you really build and scale your company. So if you're in a 0 to 15 million, 0 to 75 employee space, we're here to help you. We're here to help you scale your company, grow your teams, grow your business, solve your tax problems, solve for you, build the leader within you, build the leaders around you, build the teams, and build the life that you really want. So if you feel trapped, if you feel stuck in your business, if you feel like there's nobody that understands you, if you feel that there's got to be more to this entrepreneurial journey than I'm experiencing today, if that's you, then stay on board because we've got some great things happening. Right now, we've been helping hundreds of companies, from companies that are involved in EO, Entrepreneurs Organization, to YPO, to everyday mom and pop shops with 5 to about 50 or 75 employees all over the nation, in Canada, in Mexico, and over in Europe too. So if you want to scale, if you want to grow, if you want to achieve something great, we're going to give you tools and techniques today. And today we're going to be talking about leadership. We're going to be talking about the leaders that are around you. And one of the first principles I always love to use is this first quote, is this: the leader of one is the leader of many. If you can't lead the one, you can't lead any. Who's the one? You're the one. And so I'm the one. Basically, if we can't lead anything, we're not going to be able to lead ourselves, number one, first, and we can't lead the people around us. And it's tough. This leadership game, the truth of who we are, the truth of impacting lives, the truth of trying to run companies, it's difficult. You have to constantly push yourself. You have to push people every day. You have to push in areas, and you almost become an asshole. You almost become that person that people don't like because you're expecting more every single day. Over and over, you have to say, hey, this is not acceptable. You must rise or die here. And if that's you and you're going, okay, I'd rather rise, and I want to choose to rise and build my organization, then this is for you. So the first slide we're going to go to is this, right? We're always going back to the basics. It's not about the success at the end, but who we become in the process. It's not about the success at the end of the journey. It's about who we become in the process. And the person that we must become as the owner founders of fast-growing organizations is this: we must become the leader. We must become the point person. We must become the person that can help guide and lead to a certain level till we can hand off the reign to other leaders that are actually better than us. That is one of the best things we possibly can do, is build the company at each level so we lead it as far as we can and we find people better than us. And then we slowly hand off the reins and say, okay, good luck, cheers. This area is now yours. And then we try to push them and ask them and challenge them and say, what do you want to accomplish? What do you want to try to build inside this organization you're building right now? And so I would say this is what we do best, right? This is what we as the leader are expected to do best, is to engage all the people around us, is to get them to buy into this, right? And so we are the key chiefs of developing your organization, we like it or not. So I literally sat today with one person that literally said, I hate my job. I hate my company. I feel trapped. Again, on the outside world, you saw this person, they are crushing it in all levels. If you saw this person, you go, oh, they've got everything I want. If you saw this person, you'd be like, man, they're living the dream. But underneath it, the reality says this, that most of us that are entrepreneur, owner, founders, we're not sharing the truth with too many people, what's going inside of us. That's why we built Fractional Founders. So founders can help other founders because only we understand what we're going through. There's the complexity of the daily grind of what we do as entrepreneurs is so high that we can only do so much. Only a few people can really understand the burden, the pressure, the stress, all the knowledge we need. We have to know project management. We have to know accounting. We have to know leadership. We have to know how to deal with interpersonal problems. We have to know our own product and our own service better than our competitors sometimes to make it happen. The requirement, we have to understand cash flow. We have to understand discipline to be disciplined about how we run our companies. And so today we're giving you the opportunity to maybe think different. So you can basically say, hey, how do I look at where I'm at today, raise these people up, hand it off, and send it on their way? So if you're taking notes today, we're going to go in the first thing, and we're going to talk about who's around you. First thing we want to do is, are you taking an audit of who the players are around you? Are they A? Are they B? Are they C? Are they D? How are they going to serve your organization? It's hard. It's hard because we're passing judgment on other people, and we feel guilty that. If you're an owner founder, you carry a lot of guilt. You feel guilty for judging as you do. You feel guilty for pushing them. You feel guilty for demanding people, even though we're paying, and we're probably feeling guilty because we don't have enough money to even pay them half the time. And so the challenge is like looking at who's around us and say, okay, where do they scale? Are they A, B, C, or D? Then the next question is this: where can we actually move them to? Do you think inside of your heart of hearts, can we move them from a B to an A? Can we move them from a C to a B, or a D to a B? And at what value are we willing to pay for them at? And I think this is one of those things, as you're taking notes, you've got to look at this and say, okay, who's the team around me? Where are they going to go? How does this fit into my vision? How does this fit into my product and service? How does this fit into my system? Who do I need next in each area of my company I'm building? And so we look at these things, and then we look at the team and we say, okay, how am I going to develop these leaders around me? And this is what I spend a lot of time going in depth with owner founders. First is just the ability to release on other people. Two is convince them that, hey, it might be worth spending the money to hire people that are elite or even a little bit better than you, or people who can just take the load off you. And then systematically and strategically hire the people in the direction you want the company to be built. And when we take time to really stop all the activity and all the shuffle and all the bustle, and we actually stop and look and say, okay, who do I really need around me? How much can I afford? And we do the cash flow models, and we spend all the time architecting the next levels of the business. We can truly help that owner founder decide, who do they need? Then we go even deeper. We say, hey, let's look at your DISC assessment. Let's look at any other personality tests you want to try to apply to your company and see, what might help you move this whole thing forward with the current team that you have, or do we need new players added to it? And so we go through this process every week with different owner founders, different people in different ways. If it's hiring a CFO, it's hiring an accounting person, if it's hiring a construction manager, if it's hiring an SEO manager, if it's hiring a marketing director, doesn't matter where it's at. We have to look at all the people around. It could be an assistant. It could be project managers. We have to look at every single person, say, where are they at? Where are we going? And how do they fit into the future growth? And then me as the point person currently, how do I develop those people around me strategically? And this is hard because then we feel the shame and guilt because we're not doing this. And we feel the shame and guilt because we're not helping this person. We feel the shame and guilt because we're not making them enough money usually. True owner founders want to help everybody around them. I literally had someone on the phone this week ask me, Troy, how much responsibility should I really take for the people that have been with me? These people have been with me 4 or 5 years. These people have sacrificed their lives for this company. How much should I be responsible for helping them buy cars, helping them buy houses, helping them get loans? And I was like, it's a tough question. It really is. It depends on the scenario, the situation. See, in a small company, we do whatever it takes to get it off the ground. Man, we have to cut deals and move things and do whatever it takes to try to get this small group of people to move it far enough so we become quote unquote corporate. See, in the beginning of this company, in the 0 to 15 million space, there's a lot of room for like making deals and cutting deals with different people because we're trying to pull out of these people their best talent. We're trying to pull out of these people their skill sets. We're trying to pull out of these people the giftings and talents that lie inherently inside of them. And the only way we can do that, sometimes we have to give them a gas card because that's what they need, or a toll card, where someone else doesn't get a gas card and toll card. Someone else needs money to go to a seminar they want to go to. See, this is what we're called to do as leaders, is trying to figure out at each stage of the company how to move it forward or no matter what. There is no perfect answer. There is no right person. There's no great leader. There's only people that just don't quit and give up. We just can't quit and give up in the process. We've got to keep pouring into the people around us and try to figure out, how do I move this person from here to there? And it sucks. The truth is, leadership sucks. That's what no one really says. There should be a whole book someone should write that leadership sucks. You're never going to make everyone happy. You're only going to make some of the people happy some of the time, and then the other people are going to be happy the other time, and then vice versa. And your entire life as a leader is cursed with unhappy people at different moments. It's just a reality of what we're dealing with. And so I ask you today, you're looking at your team. You're writing their names out. You're trying to think, okay, where are they at? And you're scoring them, A, B, C, D. Then you're thinking about the next thing is the possibility of, how do I move them forward now? Do you want to move them forward? Do you want to spend your time, your energy, your life force energy, your fight, your drive to make all this happen? Yes or no? I don't know. See, this is the challenge we have as leaders. We got to say, how much fight do I have inside of me to drive and build this thing to the next level? So when you're looking at your team, you're looking at each person and saying, okay, is it worth it to me to keep driving this? Yes or no? I don't know. So one of the things we wrote down on this next slide is regular check-ins. And we've got tons and tons of questions to ask yourself. If you want their free PDF, send me a note, some way, shape, or form. We'll get you the PDF or whatever with all these questions. And when you're meeting with your team, once you rate them and where they're at, and here, catch this. Don't miss this, guys. Catch this. You as the owner founder, right? You have to decide where you think this person can go in your mind. Then you want to go meet with that person. You want to go sit with this person. You want to basically sit down and ask these questions when you check in with this person, saying, where are you? Like we wrote in this slide right here, where are you in your being, mindset, and spirituality? I'm not saying ask it directly like this. Okay, let's be clear. I'm not saying ask it directly, but you're asking, hey, man, where are you at? How's life going? How's it going working here? How's your business? How's it going managing this department? How's it going with this project? You're just checking in as a human. The key thing, again, is back to what we taught in relationships, is that bonding factor. And you're asking deep questions and just being real and just being, hey, where are you at? Are you happy with going on here? Are you not? If not, how can I help you? Because remember, we are servant leaders. The best leaders are the servant leaders. They're willing to go like this, say, how may I serve you? And they are so strong as servant leaders. They have the strength to get underneath others and lift other people up. The best leaders are servant leaders, and they have the ability to lift other people up. The next thing is this. We're going to go to the next slide. The next slide we're going to go over tonight, because we're keeping all these presentations short, is this. Okay, in leadership, here's the basic principle for all of us, right? Number one, we learn it. We learn how to be leaders. We learn how to be dynamic. We learn how to grow ourselves, right? Because if your company's not growing, it's because you are not growing. If your company is not growing, it's because you are not growing. If your company does not work, it's because there's something inside of you that's being reflected out in the world around you, in your company around you. Hey, everything rises and falls on leadership. So if something's not happening in your company, it's because of you. You hired these people, you chose these people, you chose this business, you chose how the systems work, you chose the logo, you chose the marketing, you chose the industry. So everything rises and falls on leadership. So if something's not working in your company, it's because of you. And if you want something to change, catch this. Remember this old quote, ready? For things to change, I must change. For things to get better, I must get better. Till I give my better, till my better is best, and my best is better than the rest. See, for things to change, I must change. What change? I don't know in your company exactly. That's why we give out the free PDF. That's why we show you all these things in your company. Go, where are you stuck? What question are you not asking? Tony says, if we're not getting the right answers, we need to ask better questions. Where are you not asking a better question in your relationships, with your employees, with your leadership, with the functionality of all the things you're building around you? Catch this. Don't miss this, guys. The leader of one is the leader of many. See, where must we change? For things to change, I must change. It all comes back to us. We chose these people. We chose the industry. So then we do this. We say, okay, in the slide it says, learn it, live it, and then lead the growth. So first, we're learning. We sit in seminars like this. We join entrepreneur groups. We join masterminds. We get coaches. We get mentors. Why? Because we need someone to hold the mirror up and say, hey, look at you right here. This is not working in your business. This is not working. You are not excelling here because of this one thing. It's why we hire coaches, why we hire mentors, why we hire consultants. Man, there's a guy that came in our company, one of the companies. We had spent years working on one thing one time. Within months, this guy had a skill set, a specific skill set to do one thing in a very specific industry. And in a couple months, he did what we couldn't get done for years. See, there are people out there that are elite. If your company's not growing, if your business is not growing, if you're not growing, there's only one reason. You are not investing in you, and you are not investing in your company, and you are not investing in the people around you. I'll be very frank, guys. I'll be very frank. Hey, this is why your company's not growing. It's because you're not investing in you, you're not investing in your company, and you're not investing in the people around you. That's why when you invest in you, you learn it. Then you live it. Then you start saying, okay, look it, I'm living this. I've learned how to do project management the best I can. I'm not an expert, but I'm going to do project management. I'm going to run my company with project management, and then I'm going to hand it off to people that are even better project managers than I. So you learn it, you live it, then you lead it by giving it off to the next generation and holding them accountable to achieve the results that you want. This is our job as leaders, to set the course, cast the vision. And one of the other times we talked about casting the vision. Casting the vision out to your employees, casting your vision out to the vendors, casting your vision out to your customers, so you bring them into your world, into your vision, so you build the dream that's inside of you to accomplish, to live the life that you want. Inside of each of you, if you're watching this today, is because you and I both know there is a vision greater than what you're currently living, that you know you're called to live, you're called to walk out, you're called to build this grand vision and make great things happen in your life. But if you're not living it, it's because you've not learned it yet. You've not taken the time to invest enough time into you, or do the work long enough in the right direction at the right time to build the right thing. So we go back to your company and we say, where must you learn something so that you can live it, so that you can lead it and leave it behind to the leaders around you that you're developing? And the question is, going back to that list, who are the future leaders of your company on that list? Who are these people that you want to hire? Who are these people that you want to grow? Who are the people that you want to fire and say, hey, these people are a drag in my life? See, it sucks. That's why I said, back to the other premise we talked about earlier, leadership just sucks sometimes. It is a very difficult, long, hard, challenging role that drains you day and night. And the only way to get out of it is to get through it. And to get through it means we have to apply these things we're talking about tonight. So we look at these things and we say, okay, is your company's growth correlated with your daily growth? I think it is. Are your actions encouraging your team to grow? Everything we do is either tearing people down or lifting people up. Do you notice a trickle-down effect when you learn it, lead it, and live it behind? Yes, there's going to be a trickle-down effect. All these slides, all this information is in the free PDF that we give out to thousands of people every week. So if you get a chance, go download it. It's on some ads somewhere and people are giving it away for free, or text us. I'm sure we'll find a way to get it to you. Okay, next quote. We'll go to the next slide. The next slide is this. Do you have a team of leaders or a company of employees? I don't know. I don't know the answer to your question. And I think until we dive deep and we have many conversations, do we even know? And honestly, most people have a company full of employees and not a company full of leaders. It takes a lot of work to build a company full of leaders. It takes a lot of work to move people out of the employee mentality into the leader mentality. It takes a lot of work and architecture of the company and coming up with ideas and systems and ways of doing things, and move people from an employee to an owner mentality of a company. And it's one of the more difficult, challenging things as leaders, that we basically take people that we don't know, get them to buy in our vision and move them up into they feel compelled to build the vision. They feel compelled to build the story. They feel compelled to finish out the journey of the vision you cast for them, no matter what. And so how do we do this in organizations? See, and we're going to go to the next slide, and this is how. We commit to developing a team of leaders around you. And how do we do this, right? And I'm just reading off the notes, guys, because these are all the slides. You can do this too. I'm making this idiot-proof. By getting these slides and applying these principles, you can grow and scale your company. By getting these slides and asking these questions, you can take a nobody and turn them into a somebody. You can take a D player and make them an A player, because all people need is someone to believe in them, someone to pour into them, someone to cast vision into them, someone to show them, hey, here's what's possible in this world. Here's what's possible if we step up. Here's what's possible if we build this vision. And this is how you do it. Step 1, you go to bed on time. Step 2, you wake up on time. Step 3, you do something to pour into your health. Step 4, we get showered and dressed, and then we go to work. We show up, and then here's our system. Here's how we grow this thing. Here's our goals we're trying to hit. Here's the achievements we're trying to do. Here's the resources you need to accomplish your job. If you can't get something, hey, come talk to me. If you can't accomplish your job, let's talk. Is it resources? Is it time? Is it money? Is it more staff? Is it the tech systems we got? What is it? And then have a conversation with them saying, hey, I'm sorry, we may not have what you want right now, but hey, let's build what we can. And we go back to the other principles we talked before in the systems is how do you run your company in the next 90 days? So when we're looking at committing to developing the leaders around you, look at these questions. These are simple, very simple, right? Look at this. How committed are you to their growth process? I don't know. This is for you to sit and you to journal and you to ask yourself these questions by yourself when no one's looking. And truth, the answers you get are going to help you move forward. So if you truly have a vision and you truly want to build something great, this is the work that is required of you. This is the owner-founder manual for building great companies. This is the owner-founder manual for 0 to 15 million, 0 to 75 employee companies to help you build the dream that you're wanting in your life. This is it. These questions. Why? It's simple. You say, Troy, it's simple. Well, yes, most of life is simple. It just requires a lot of complex, simple tasks all added together that we just do over and over and over again to get the results we're seeking. See, most entrepreneurs fail or don't grow because they don't do it consistently, or they fail because they never learn to do the basics, or they fail because they never keep doing all the basics and then investing in themselves to even learn what's next. What questions should I ask next? What behavior should I do? How should I wake up? How should I run my life? See, at every stage from 0 to 250 to 500,000 to 1 million, to 5, to 10, to 15, and breaking 15 and the 20 and 25, it requires a different level of you. It requires a different way of operating. Your company requires totally different systems as they grow. If you're not building it to handle these next stages, it will crash. It will break. It will not grow beyond what you've built for it. The infrastructure of a building is dug super deep before there's even level 1 even built. You've got to have the future vision of building a skyscraper and then spend the work to dig the hole, invest some money, have the architecture plans, know where the light sockets are going to go at the end of it so you can build the skyscraper of business that you want. And so I would have you think today that developing the leaders around you will have you build the company that's in your heart to build today. See, until we do that, until we invest in them, here, look at this question. What lessons and life experiences are you sharing? Troy, that's a basic question. Everyone should know that. Well, are you? Are you spending time on a weekly or monthly basis mentoring, pouring into the people around you, having conversations? Hey, it could be a friend, it could be mentoring, or it could just be being the guide or being the boss, or actually, hey, every relationship we have with everybody is different. Our emotional intelligence is going to guide us intuitively how to have that conversation with that person. And I would challenge you this. It's not going to be found in a bunch of books. It's going to be found in trusting yourself. Trust that still small voice inside of you that speaks and whispers and say, hey, text John. Just say, hey. That still small voice that says, hey, it's 8 o'clock at night, but just call Mary and say, hey, thanks for doing a great job. Or it's a still small voice say, you know what? You've been not colliding with somebody. You've been letting them slack. You need to collide with them and say, hey, this is not acceptable. Here's a behavior that I do expect from you. And sometimes those collisions, those negative collisions in our mind that we're scared of having, will have some of the greatest results and the greatest impact in people's life. Because at that point, until an object of equal or greater force moves something, people will not move to a different direction, right? We are that force sometimes in people's life. They work for us. We have an opportunity to build the next generation of the world that's going to be impactful. We have the opportunity to collide people that are lazy. We have the ability to collide with people that are not producing at the level that you and I know they can produce at. And sometimes they hate us. And sometimes years later, you get a text out of nowhere and they say, you know what, Troy, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you for being in my life. Thank you for challenging me at times. I'm sorry I was a jerk or I was blah, blah, blah. And you're like, oh man, it paid off. But it's going to take risks. It's going to getting you to trust yourself as a leader to be able to say, hey, rise or die, rise or die, rise or die. And most people, you give enough rope, unfortunately, they're going to hang themselves over and over again. That's why there's so few true producers in this world. But our job is to raise the bar inch by inch. Hey, they may not be able to go far, but you might be able to help them grow way farther than they ever thought possible by committing to developing the leaders within you with these questions. So, who are you going to grow? Who are the people around you that you're thinking in your mind's eye right now, you're writing out, that I'm going to develop? I'm going to invest time, money, or resources. And I would think about it now. I don't care if you have your phone right now and you're watching this on your laptop, you're watching this on your phone, open up your notes, write down a name, write down the thought and say, hey, I'm going to buy this course. I'm going to buy a project management course for this person. I'm going to get an accounting course for this. I'm going to send this person for an online school for this. I'm going to buy something fun at the office if everyone hits a goal. Whatever it is, you're going to think about these little things that might move something forward. Hey, on my calendar, I'm going to do every 6-month reviews and actually spend 2 hours with each person. Hey, I might do these reviews every quarter. Hey, I might need to have weekly meetings one-on-one with all my key reports and actually ask what's going on, where are things at, and start building a structure. Here's what I want to see, when I want to see it, how I want to see it. Hey, it could be something little. It could be like, hey, John, listen, I love you, man, but I need you to show me this, this, and this on a weekly basis. And if these results are not happening, I need you to work with your team to get these results. I want to know a percentage of this. I want to know transactions of this. Whatever it is, you build the frame. You're creating the frame as a leader. So if you're not liking something about your business, it's because of you. Everything rises and falls on leadership, as John Maxwell says. Everything rises and falls on leadership. And catch this, I promise you, you start getting a bunch of people to rise. When one ship rises, the tide rises, they all rise. And we want to build an organization of elite people. We want to build an organization of people that do whatever it takes to make something happen. We want to build an organization of people that actually care about the vision. We want to build organizations of people that care about others. We want to build organizations of people that care about what the company is. And these companies are impactful, not just about making money. Man, it's never about just making money. It's always about who are the lives that we can impact. Who are the lives around us? And hey, I'm just a small-time entrepreneur. But I guarantee you, I'm going to try to impact as many lives around me as possible. Why? Because that is our destiny as humans. That is our calling as humans, to impact and serve and give to others around us and help them rise, help them become the next best version of themselves, help them realize the dreams that are inside of them, help them realize that they are worth more than what they're being told, help them that they can see that they can be more valuable to the world than what they are. That is part of our calling as leaders, not just on the business. We are building humanistic companies. We are being companies that are built for humanity. Humanity and entrepreneurship are being integrated so tightly now that our jobs as leaders is to lead this group and these people into this next generation where technology is becoming more powerful than anything we've ever seen before, and jobs are about to go on the wayside. So the only way to get past this is to build elite teams, elite people with elite visions that are truly coming from that still small voice inside of you. And I would challenge you today, find some time to journal. Find some time by yourself to go to the beach or go sit by a tree or go to the park and just think. And listen to that still small voice inside of you and say, hey, voice, am I really on the right track? Yes or no? Where should I go? And ask for that guidance from wherever you get that guidance from. Because once you get that spark of guidance, once you truly see and believe what's inside your heart, it will come. And you're sitting there with that journal and you're writing these things out and you're writing your thoughts, you're writing your feelings, and sooner or later, the vision truly starts showing up on a page. And the old quote resonates more now than it ever has before. And the old quote says this, it says, write the vision down, make it plain, so those who read it may run with it. Though it tarry, wait for it shall surely pass. Write the vision down. You got to write it down. You got to show it so people can see it. So your employees, your vendors, your customers can see, what are you trying to build? Where's your company going? What are you trying to build? Write the vision down, make it plain so those who read it may run with it. And then you cast it into your employees. You cast it into the people that you work with. Why? So they buy into it. They feel like, oh my God, this is something I must do. I will invest my life. I will invest my soul. I'll invest my time, my money, my energy into building this. And it's going to come from that spark of imagination, that true spark of genius inside of you. And trust it. Trust that still small voice. Don't doubt it. I meet so many entrepreneurs that feel like they doubt things sometimes. They go through these challenges. It's okay. We all face it. It's called life. Man, we're up, we're down, we get stressed, we hate things, we love things, we feel depressed, we feel angry, we feel joy. Man, that's just the entrepreneurial journey. Everybody talks about that. But just again, it's okay to feel it. But know that the vision that you saw in your mind's eye, the vision that you felt in your heart when you felt excited about building a company, trust it. Follow it through. Take the stuff from me or go find somebody else to go learn how to go build a company. These are learned traits. These are learned activities. These are learned thoughts, things that you can apply to your company so you can build the vision you feel called to. So please reach out if you think I can serve you in any way. Man, we've got the Business Success Blueprint. Guys, you can always buy it. You can watch the videos. You know, we've got success counselors that are always willing to help people and hop on the phone. I've been willing. I took it. Hey, to wrap this up today, guys, I hopped in a Lyft car about 9 months ago. Met my Lyft driver in the car. Him and I just started talking. We started talking about his company. We spent about, 34 minutes max in the car. I don't know, I don't even know if it was even that long, or 43 minutes, something like that. We talked about his company the whole time. Recently, about a week ago, he sent me this whole email out of nowhere and says, hey, Troy, man, I just want you to know that what you taught me in that car ride changed my life forever and helped me think differently about my business in ways I haven't thought about. And he said, hey, do you have time to talk? I've got some new things going on. I said, yes, let's get you on the phone with Taylor and find a time for us to meet. I promise you, in that 1 hour that him and I spent together, we got clear on what his vision is. We got clear on his 10-year vision. Then we rapidly got clear on what his 1-year vision is. Then we got clear on what he can do in the next 90 days. Then we got clear on what his giftings and talents are. Then we got clear on what he may need to think about next to truly move things forward and figure out what the road barriers are. And in that conversation, we were able to show him a roadmap of what's going to get him there in the next 10 years to achieve the thing he wanted. And what he wanted to own 9 businesses. He wants to own 9 businesses in the next 10 years right now. That is his goal. One of the businesses is the tiny house community. And I was like, hey, let's focus on the one we can start with and the one we can control and figure out what's blocking us. And let's do this. I think for you, you might want to consider this. You might want to build a personal operating system and a professional operating system for your life. Because if you're not predictable personally, you're not going to be predictable professionally. And if you're not predictable professionally, too many P's, you're not going to get the money that you want and the profits you want. It just doesn't happen, guys. If you're a disaster personally, your business is going to be a disaster. Again, everything rises and falls on leadership. That's why we're teaching this tonight. That's why we're talking about you and then how to develop the team around you. And same thing with them. If we can't help them grow personally, they're not going to grow professionally. It's all just one thing. And if you grow and they grow, your whole company will grow just as a byproduct of excellence, a byproduct of success. It happens over and over and over again. So thank you for joining me tonight, guys. I love you as always. Thank you for joining me on a Wednesday night. Have an awesome week. Please reach out if you think you can help with anything. And onwards and upwards. Bye, guys.